Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection Show is on the air. And we're at PACT-TV Studios, downtown Duluth, in City Hall on the 3rd floor. Nice studios here. They do a good job. Boy, it's already Christmas and all the holiday terms are starting, but I'm going to start out some of the stuff that happened this week. On Thursday night, Northern Lights, which is now coached by Coach Mike Randolph, who coached at Duluth East 32 years and a couple years at Denfield and a couple years at Duluth Cathedral. Well, his Northern Lights team came to town to play Denfield. And we were going to have a 5-minute ceremony because to start the season, he broke the record, historic record, as the most wins of any high school boys coach in Minnesota. So right now, he broke it at 708, and I think he has about 711 now. So, or 710 in that area. But he has the record, and we were going to do a 5-minute ceremony before the Denfield game. But we got shut down by the superintendent of schools at the Duluth school system, and John Magus. And so we didn't do the ceremony. But one of my friends brought in a banner, and that banner we put up on top in the balcony part of Tim Cortez art studios. And if you'd ever seen art on sports and everything else, Tim Cortez art studio, you won't believe the work he does. But we put this banner up from a friend that had it made, and all it said was, "Congratulations, Coach Randolph, on your historic win total." But the school district, after 2 periods, someone came up from the management of the Heritage Center and said us to bring it down. So we had to take it down, and boy, it's just crazy how little petty things that the school district is going after. It's like almost they're bullies, and I thought bullying was illegal in the school district. But I guess it continues, but that's what happened, and I'm sure we'll find a way to celebrate Coach Randolph's historic win total, and we'll find some place and somewhere in the state of hockey to do this, because there's a lot of people that are really congratulating Mike on his ordeal and coaching so many years. And like I said before, these coaches, I don't care who you coach, Pee-wee, Bantam, Squirts, high school, you don't do it for the money. You do it for the love of the game. So congratulations to Mike Randolph on his victory total, and boo to the Duluth school system. So moving on, Denfield and Duluth East played, and boy, for teams that have losing records, that was a very entertaining game on Saturday. East had their alumni game, so a lot of players from the past came back home and played. There was about 40 players, so it was a fun alumni game. And then we saw the Denfield net, and it, sure enough, it went into overtime, and Denfield won in overtime. So congratulations to the Hunter, but it was a very entertaining game. Maybe they should play each other every game this season. But so there you go. And now, because of the holidays, we got all these holiday tournaments. But I'm not going to name them all, but I'll name some of the bigger ones. In the Northland here, I'm going to start on the day after Christmas. It's a 3-day tournament. And the Heritage Center, Duluth Heritage Center is having one, and that starts Thursday. And I'll just tell you the teams that are playing: Apple Valley versus Park of Cottage Grove at 11:30 a.m. Thursday at the Heritage Center. Superior versus Mankato West at 2 o'clock. Then we got Irondale versus Owatonna at 4:30, and then Anoka versus Duluth Denfield at 7 p.m. And I think Well, the Apple Valley team now is Cole hockey with Burnsville now, so Apple Valley / Burnsville. So that's at 11:30. So Denfield plays at 7 p.m. Thursday. Then the winners play each other on Friday, and the losers play on Friday afternoon, and the winners in the evening. So there you go. And then Saturday we got the championship game and third place game, and then fifth place consolation and seventh place game. Another tournament is up in Proctor at St. Luke's Sports and Event Center, and that starts on Thursday. It's 3 days. So these 8 teams are playing each other. We got Somerset, Wisconsin versus the North Shore at noon. We got Osseo versus Red Lake Falls, 2:30. We got Hopkins versus Brookfield, Wisconsin, 5 p.m. Then we got Proctor versus New Ulm at 7:30. And the same thing in this tournament. The winners play Friday late afternoon and night, and the losers play at noon and 2. So there you go, the 2 northern tournaments. But the big tournaments where the top teams in AA, there's 4 places that'll be going on. And John Barger, I was going to have him on my show over the phone, but he's a tournament director, and he has 3 at the Maple Grove Community Center, the Plymouth Ice Center, and we got St. Louis Park Community Center, those 3 places. So I'm just going to go over some of the teams at in the Grove, which is Maple Grove's rink. We got Holy Angels, and Holy Angels is a top 10 team right now, and they're going against Chaplin Park at 2:30. Then at Rosemont, which has not lost a game, they're 10-0. They're playing Andover at 5 p.m. And then Maple Grove will be playing Holy Family at 7:30 p.m. Then Friday, we got Sartell St. Stephen versus Rosemont, 2:30. Andover versus Holy Angels, 5 o'clock. Chanhassen versus Maple Grove, 7:30. And then Saturday, Holy Angels versus Sartell, 2:30. Shakopee versus Andover, 5 p.m. Benil St. Margaret versus Maple Grove, 7:30. Of all those teams, we got Holy Angels in the top spot. We got Chaplin Park in the top 15. We got Rosemont in the top 10. We got Maple Grove in the top 10. Let's see, we got Shakopee in the top 15. So you got 5 teams there that are in the top 15 at Maple Grove. Then over at St. Louis Park, we got on Thursday, we got Chanhassen versus Sartell, 5 p.m. Benil versus Shakopee, 7:30. Then on Friday, we got Shakopee versus Chaplin Park, 5 p.m. Then we got Holy Family versus Benil, 7:30 p.m. And then Saturday, the 28th, we got Chaplin Park versus Rosemont, 5 p.m. And Holy Family versus Chanhassen, 7:30. And then last of John Barger's 3 rinks that he's having tournaments is at Wazetta rink, Plymouth Ice Center. We got Lakeville South versus Rogers. Rogers doing very good. They're a top 5 team this year. Minnetonka versus Wazetta, 2 top 15 teams. They'll play at 2:45 on Thursday. And then Friday, we got Rogers versus Minnetonka, Lakeville South versus Wazetta. And then Saturday, we got Lakeville South versus Minnetonka, Rogers versus Wazetta, 2:45. So those are 3 great places to go on Friday, Saturday, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So you got the Premier Holiday Tournament at Maple Grove. We got the Premier Tournament at St. Louis Park Rink, and then we got the Premier Holiday Classic at the Plymouth Ice Center. So a lot of good teams there. But probably the best the traditional holiday invitation where on Friday I'm going, but listen, we got a lot of top 10 teams in this one, and we got 4 of the top 5 that are at this tournament. We got St. Thomas Academy number 2 versus Lakeville North on Thursday at noon. Eden Prairie versus Cretin Durham Hall. Eden Prairie's in the top 15, and Cretin's in the top 5. Let's see, where are they? What do I have? 7. Cretin's in number 7 in AA, Class AA rankings. Then the next game is Hill Murray, which is number 3, versus Prior Lake at 5, and then Moorhead versus Edina, which Edina's number 1 I have, and Moorhead number 4. And then Friday, the day I'll probably be down there this is in Prior Lake, where the Dakota rink, Dakota Ice Center, right next to Mystic Lake Casino. So they did a nice job in building this community center, ice arena, and has a lot of other stuff in this community center. So Friday, we got Lakeville North versus Hill Murray, Eden Prairie versus Moorhead, Prior Lake versus Cretin, Edina versus St. Thomas Academy. And that game could be, if they both win Thursday, Edina and St. Thomas are 1-2. So that might be something that you might see at the state tournament even, that if they both get there. That's a big game. So we got 5 teams that are in the top 10. We got Hill Murray number 3. We got Moorhead number 4. We got Cretin number 5. We got Edina number 1. And we got St. Thomas Academy number 2. So 5 teams in the top 10 are the first top 7. So that's a great place to see the top teams in Class AA is go down to Dakota. So we got two good places to go on the weekend down in the cities. We got 4 rinks, but 2 tournaments, traditional and all the premier tournaments at Maple Grove, at St. Louis Park, and that Plymouth Ice Center. So there you go. Some great hockey. And then any other tournament, there's a whole bunch of other tournaments. And show up for some of these tournaments here. The local fans. Get to these rinks and see some good high school hockey and for the holidays. There you go. A lot of holiday tournaments. Okay, the rankings. Now it's getting to the end of the year, and I'll tell you what, after the first of the year, all the good coaches, they're starting to get their teams ready. They got 6 weeks to get them ready for the playoffs, and the good coaches, that's what they do. They get their teams ready for the playoffs, and it's not all about the wins and losses during the regular season, but just being ready when the playoffs start. So here's my rankings. Class AA, we got Edina, 7-1 record, number 1. We got St. Thomas Academy, 8-0, number 2. We got Hill Murray, 7-0, number 3. We got Moorhead, 8-1, number 4. Rosemont, 10-0, number 5. We got Rogers, 8-1-1, number 6. We got Cretin Durham Hall, 6-1-1, number 7. We got Stillwater, number 8 at 8-1. And we got Academy of Holy Angels, 7-1, and Shakopee, number 10 at 6-3-1. And then teams to watch, we got Bemidji, Benil, St. Margaret, Eden Prairie, Grand Rapids, Minnetonka, Wayzata, and White Bear Lake. So a lot of good teams, and that just so happened all of them are in the Twin Cities except Moorhead. So, yep, it's becoming Twin Cities hockey and Class AA. And I wish I can say something good about it, but hey, it is what it is. So there you go for Class AA. So now let's get to the Class A. And I noticed with Class A, and I've watched, I've seen Hermantown, Cloquet, I've seen East Grand Forks, Hibbing, let's see, who else? Northern Lakes, Montemita, and Proctor. I tell you what, almost all these teams, they all have new goalies. And so far, a lot of them are not playing consistent. But they have to get there. They want to get to state. So let's go over the rankings right now. We got Hermantown, number 1 at 5-2-2. They probably play the toughest schedule in Class A. They play a lot of Class AA teams and top 10 teams in Class AA. So they're a very good team. Cloquet, Esco, Carleton, 8-0. Teams having a lot of fun this year, and boy, this can come down to the Cloquet, Hermantown, or even Hibbing, Cloquet and Hermantown for the finals in 7A. So that's going to be fun this year in Class A up here in the North Planet. Then number 3, Monticello, 8-0. Warroad, 4-3-1. Warroad's played a tough schedule too. East Grand Forks, 4-5-1. Another team that's played a tough schedule, so you don't go by the record. They're in a lot of these games. So St. Cloud Cathedral, 4-3-2. That's a team that's having a little problem with their goaltending. Hibbing, Chisholm, 7-4. Northfield, 7-2-1. Delano, 5-3. Minneapolis, 7-1-3. Teams to watch: Detroit Lakes, Little Falls, Laverne, Montemita, Northern Lakes, Oregon, and Proctor. So it's going to be, I think, a fun year for Class A, and I think the state title is open to many, many teams. And like I said, it's going to come down at which team has a goalie that starts playing consistent when the playoffs start. So a little college hockey. Since they're not playing right now, there'll be a few colleges that might have a game at around New Year's and that. But pairwise, Boston College number 1. Top 16 teams in the pairwise get to the regions, the four regions and 4 teams in each region. So right now, Boston College is number 1 in the pairwise. Michigan State, number 2. Maine, number 3. Minnesota, number 4. And I'll tell you what, I just saw Minnesota and Michigan State play. It was like they're playing in the Frozen Four. It was a battle, and it seemed like they've been playing for the full year already and ready to go in the playoffs. That was like playoff hockey. It was a great series down there at Mariucci. And another thing I want to say is that in the beginning of the year, the pairwise doesn't really show an accurate ranking because a lot of teams don't play top teams in the beginning, and so their rankings go way down. But now they're coming up and they're getting pretty close to what it should be, and so I would go by these rankings from now on. So number 5, Western Michigan. Jason Herder used to be coaching UMD as an assistant coach. He's over there, assistant at Western Michigan. And I tell you what, he must be doing something good with that program because they're a very, very good team in the NCHC. Number 6, Providence. Number 7, Denver. Denver's always going to be good. They started out real strong, but they lost a couple games to Arizona State out in Arizona. But I know they'll be ready when regions start. And number 8, UMass Lowell. Number 9, Michigan. Number 10, Boston U. St. Cloud State. So we got 3 good teams: Denver, St. Cloud State, and Western Michigan and the NCHC. Number 12, Ohio State. So we got Ohio State, we got Michigan State, we got Michigan, Minnesota, and let's see, do we have any other? That's it. So we got those 4 teams. And then we got Here's a kind of a surprise. Minnesota State at Mankato. They're 14-4-2 this year. And I'll tell you what, they're playing good and they're winning a lot of close games and overtime games. And they picked up a golfer that got in the transfer portal, Picklick, and he's been getting winning goals on that team, and he's becoming a hero down there at Mankato at Minnesota State. So good for them, Minnesota State, because when Hastings, the coach that brought him to 2 Frozen Fours, boy, when he moved over to Wisconsin, he took some players there and a lot of graduation, and boy, the coaches are doing a great job down there at Minnesota State. Number 14, New Hampshire. Number 15, Connecticut. Number 16, Dartmouth. In the regular polls that we got North Dakota 15 and Cornell 16. So North Dakota has to pick it up a little bit if they want to make the regions. There you go on college. Okay, I just got this from the 19th. I left the December 20th game. I go to about 30 Wild games a year. And right now, Winnipeg is the top team in hockey. And we got a couple Hermantown kids on that team. You got Neil Piant, who's playing real good this year, and Dylan Sandberg is another one. 2 defensemen from Hermantown are playing on that team. And Dylan's been hurt lately, so I don't know when he's coming back or if he has already. I got to check on that. But Winnipeg has been the top team. But Minnesota was right next to them, but they're going in a little bump in the road right now. Every team in National Hockey League, I don't care how good you are or how bad you are, you're going to go through bumps in the road in this league, and it's best, well, hopefully it's just in the middle here. You don't want to end the season doing this, but they lost 3 home games out of 4. So we hope they can get it back. They play Chicago. This is Monday, December 23rd. So I hope they can get it back tonight and get on the winning streak again. But Kirill Kaprizov has been one of the top scorers in the league all year long, so this is kind of nice. So we got Kaprizov, number 4. We got Nathan McKinnon, number 2 in scoring. We got Leon Draisaitl, number 1. Boy, that Leon can one-time that puck. He's got 23 goals and 27 assists right now, where Kaprizov has 31 games played, 22 goals and 26 assists. So he's right up there. And he's playing on great this year, so as the season runs. But hopefully the Wild can get back together and get the team on a winning streak. Let's see, Vegas is number 1 over in the Pacific Division, where the Kings are number 2. And let's see, and over in the east side, we got Toronto and Florida as the top 2 teams. And then in Metropolitan, we got New Jersey, Washington, and Carolina as the top 3 teams. So now the second half of the season will be starting, and it's going to be a lot of fun seeing this. A lot of good players, I tell you, in hockey and the National Hockey League, and a lot of new young kids are coming up. I was looking, I'm going down to the cities, and every year I got to see that. I normally have to see the top teams because I do rankings every week on Sunday morning. You can go on my Facebook site, which is Jerry Borough, JerryBoroughh. You can try to friend me, and I'll click in and you can see the rankings. Otherwise, you can go on Twitter at Minnesota Hockey Connection on Twitter. Just click that to get on my Twitter site, Minnesota Hockey Connection. So then you get the rankings every week. Every week. But I was going through all the top teams, and I've been voting for Mr. Hockey, the top senior skaters in the state, and we get to vote 7 players, and then we rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's how they get points for each level there. 1 gets more points than 2 and that. But so I have to watch a lot of these players on some of these top teams, but some of the players that I'm really liking so far is you got Mason Kraft and Brooks Collin. That's Matt Collins' kid. So 2 kids from Moorhead I like, and Stillwater we got Blake Vanek and Bobby Dustin. We got another Dustin. Both of those players played for the Gophers. Their dads, I mean. Shakopee has Cooper Simpson. That's really good. Cretan Durham Hall has Jimmy Duggett. And let's see, who else do we have? Hill Murray has Bowden Sampar. There's been a lot of Sampars that go through that program at Hill Murray. Let's see, St. Thomas Academy has a bunch, and no wonder they're undefeated. They got this transfer kid that's probably their best player, is Jackson Root, and he's one of the top scorers in the state right now as a forward. Then we got Michael Mikan. We got William Dolson. We got Nico Russ. And then we got Patrick Cronin, the defenseman. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. 5 kids. So there you go. A lot of good players, and I'll start putting a list up after the first of the year. I'll put my top 25 players, and then, like I said, I'll have to cut it down. And some of the goalies, I like the St. Thomas goalie, Neeson, and I like Gabriel Casey up in Rapids. I mean, there's a few good goalies, but a lot of these teams are first-year goaltending as a starter. So it'll be very interesting when the playoffs start. So, okay. I'm wishing everyone a Merry Christmas, and get out there and see some of these high school tournament games in your area. And if you, like I said, if you're in the Twin Cities, there's a lot of the top teams are over in Maple Grove, Plymouth Ice Center, and St. Louis Park Community Center, and down at the Dakota Rink. So we got 4 places that you can go and watch the top teams. Otherwise, just go to your local team and watch them play, because almost everyone's in a tournament someplace. So everyone, have a happy holiday and Happy New Year's. We'll be off 1 week, and we'll be back after New Year's. So there you go. See you at the rink, and thank you, PACT-TV Studios, and Jim, Sean, and Liz for producing the show, and have a great holiday, like I said.